Admiral Kethavar watched the sensor readings with growing irritation. 3 small vessels had appeared at the edge of the Zephyrian system, broadcasting what appeared to be tourism clearance codes. The ships were laughably primitive. Chemical propulsion, basic energy shields, and hull designs that looked like they'd been cobbled together in someone's backyard workshop. Humans! His tactical officer spat, mandibles clicking in disgust. The newest species to stumble into galactic society. They claim they're here for recreational viewing of our fleet exercises. The Admiral's 4 eyes narrowed as he studied the data. The human ships were broadcasting on all frequencies. Their communications officer apparently excited about witnessing authentic military maneuvers and asking if they could get closer to the action for better photos. It was almost insulting. "Sir," his communications officer interrupted, "the lead human vessel is requesting permission to," and I quote, "get some sick shots of your beautiful warships for their travel blog." Kethavar's crew erupted in chittering laughter. The Hegemony's 9th Armada was conducting final exercises before their planned annexation of the human homeworld. These 3 tiny ships, probably filled with wide-eyed sightseers, had stumbled directly into the path of 600 of the galaxy's most advanced warships. Grant them passage, Kethavar decided with amusement. Let them watch. When they return to Earth with tales of our overwhelming might, perhaps their government will surrender without the need for bloodshed. The human ships moved closer, maintaining what appeared to be respectful distances while their occupants chattered excitedly over open channels about the impressive formations and amazing engineering. One human, apparently named Dave, kept asking technical questions about their plasma cannon arrays and shield harmonics with the enthusiasm of a child visiting a museum. "They're actually scanning us," the sensor operator reported, sounding more bemused than concerned. "Basic electromagnetic sweeps. Probably trying to take detailed pictures. Let them." Kethavar waved dismissively. What threat could they possibly pose? The human vessel spent 2 hours meandering through the fleet's formation, their crews apparently marveling at everything they saw. They asked permission to observe the weapons tests, watched the synchronized hyperjump preparations, and even requested a close-up view of the flagship's main cannon array for educational purposes. At 11:47 local time, just as Kethavar was considering suggesting the humans leave before the serious military exercises began, something changed. The 3 tourist vessels suddenly accelerated beyond anything their engines should have been capable of. In perfect synchronization, panels slid away from their hulls, revealing weapon systems that made the Hegemony's most advanced destroyers look like children's toys. "What in the name of—" Kethavar began, but his words were cut short as the lead human ship opened fire. The beam that lanced out wasn't energy. It was something else entirely. Reality itself seemed to bend around it, and where it struck the Hegemony dreadnought inevitable victory, the massive ship simply ceased, not exploded, not destroyed. It was as if it had never existed at all. "Impossible," Kethavar breathed, but the humans were already moving again. The second ship fired what appeared to be a simple projectile, but when it struck a formation of heavy cruisers, it detonated in a cascade of quantum disruption that unraveled their molecular bonds at the subatomic level. 12 vessels became expanding clouds of component particles in less than 3 seconds. The third human ship, the one whose crew had been asking such innocent questions about their shield harmonics, released a swarm of what looked like maintenance drones. The tiny objects zipped through the fleet with impossible speed and precision, each one phase-shifting through the Hegemony's shields as if they weren't there. Every drone carried a payload that interfaced directly with their target's computer systems, turning the ship's own weapons against their neighbors in a devastating cascade of friendly fire. "Evasive maneuvers!" Kethavar screamed, but it was too late. The humans had spent 2 hours mapping every ship's position, every defensive capability, every possible escape route. Their attack wasn't just overwhelmingly powerful, it was surgically precise. The Admiral watched in horror as ship after ship vanished from his sensors, not fleeing, simply ceasing to exist. The humans moved through his fleet like gardeners pruning weeds, their impossible weapons rewriting the laws of physics with casual indifference. "Sir," his communications officer called out, voice cracking with terror, "the humans are broadcasting again." "Put it through," Kethavar whispered. The cheerful voice of Dave filled the bridge. "Hey there, Admiral. Thanks for the tour, really informative stuff. We got some great footage of your fleet's defensive capabilities and tactical formations. Super helpful for our, travel documentation. Oh, and don't worry about the mess. We're running a bit behind schedule, so we need to wrap this up quick. We've got lunch reservations at this amazing little place near Jupiter. In the space of 8 minutes, the most feared armada in the galaxy was reduced to expanding debris fields and scattered escape pods. The 3 human ships, their hulls already reconfiguring back to their innocuous tourist appearance, began accelerating toward the system's edge. By the way, Dave's voice continued cheerfully, you might want to let the rest of the hegemony know that Earth's been upgraded from primitive backwater to absolutely not worth messing with in our travel guides. The locals there are way more serious about protecting their tourist destinations than you might expect. Have a great day. Admiral Kethvar, commander of what had once been 600 ships and now sat alone in an escape pod, stared at the retreating vessels. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he remembered the human phrase they'd been so fond of using during their sightseeing tour. Have a nice trip, he whispered to the void, finally understanding that they'd been the ones taking it.